Defense is always going to be solid, Tom, and with this kind of composition, with this map taken into consideration, straight away, actually, I want to just put a little thing out there. They've got their Viper playing over on the A side, the benefit of having a Cypher, and then you can only imagine how things are going to get confusing for their opponents as they swap around these comps and these setups.
But yeah, I wouldn't like to be on the other side of it. Then again, I know how good ACEND can be on the attacking side, so we'll see. It is, as I said, almost the alternate comps. Bone cold, all right. He's just going to go dancing through all of the utility and find himself the opener, give an advantage over to ACEND, and they can fall back into their after-plant positions. You can see they currently have a couple of snake bites available to them, so this is about to become very difficult for Gambit.
Yes, it is a tough task ahead as they make their way back in. It gets a little easier with Defo's kill, the lurk play out of Killez. They just need to buy time for him to get up behind, and they're trying to distract as much as they can. Viper utility down on the side, but Defo keeps on fragging. It's all left onto the flank of Killez, and there's no one left to cause a distraction. An easy defuse coming in as Defo desperately wants to get his knives online, his Blade Storm, and he'll even take the death in the end, which, to be fair, at least he manages to get an orb either way.
Yeah, that was the thing. That is with the snake bites right now, so you could basically tank it at least most of the way to get it to half, and that's all he really needed to do. He was making sure that realistically they had the defusal done no matter what happened in this scenario. It is surprising though, like considering the position that ACEND ended up in, after plant 5v4, cave control, utility available. They kind of got slammed. Like, there were 3 players left at the end, and they managed to isolate all of the juice. They even had a flank that just got absolutely nothing done. So it almost just seems at the moment like Gambit are just rolling over them based off individual brilliance. These rounds, though, Gambit's kind of sucked at these. The second round, I think they've lost every second round of the map or of the game so far.
They have. Yeah, you're 100% right. The ecos have been destroying them. This time ACEND invest a little bit more with the 3 marshals that they have in play. And considering the map, Tom, this was something we highlighted when it first came out, right? We had that VOD explaining the map. And we said that, well, that's what you want to be careful of is marshals. Nats.
He baited him with the cam.
Nasty nats.
I honestly think I'd end up, like, just turning my computer off if I played against him. I'd be like, nah, that's stupid. Oh, and they've isolated another joy. It really is happening again. It's reliant on a low Redgar and Nats, who, well, in terms of a retake on the A site, is not going to be in the best of positions. You've also got to watch for the lurk of Killers. He may not have any weaponry, but his positioning is strong.
A great retake wall, a Viper wall that they have on the Gambit side, but no Viper to put it up. So this is going to have to be... Oh, well, if Nats doesn't check this corner, and indeed he's not at the moment, he's casting an eye towards it every so often, but this should be just a great position, great timing from Killez. A wallbang headshot with the classic isn't going to be enough. It doesn't cut it. It leaves Nats 1 hit. Oh, all right. Okay. I was going to say to a Marshall, but that's a quick way to finish him off. And Redgar, he already said he was quite low. He might want to just save this Guardian, but they've spotted him. Within a couple of seconds, they'll realize he's saving, and look at that. A mass exodus of the A site as they look to move towards the spawn. It's Starzo that wants to take him down, clearing out middle. They can't really overextend too much, especially when he's playing with that Spectre. You kind of want to save it for the next round, and they're just going to all tuck in. So at least the Guardian will be carried forward, but another pretty disastrous start to a map, although it hasn't held Gambit back so far.
Yeah, it's just odd though. Like, I don't think I've seen a team win all 3 of the first half pistols and lose all 3 of the second round forces. Like, I don't think that's ever happened in a match before, because it's just silly. Like, sure, they dominated the last one. They also managed to win the next round back when it came to bind, so it didn't really matter too much for them. But I don't know if they're going to be given that same luxury again. In fact, they're not investing on the majority of players. It's only really the saved weaponry that's going to be able to do anything here.
The Viper wall usually means that you can't really take a peek with the Marshal in hand, but obviously it's a little bit of a different wall this time, much more aggressive. Cutting Madonna in half and letting them get to the site. Already dropped 1. Guardian's going to try to chip them up, and I think if they lose many more players, you'll immediately be looking at saving that Guardian over.
Spike planted.
Just hoping that someone gives an opportunity away. ACEND, though, considering how their third rounds have gone for them, they probably don't want to overextend too much.
What's that?
Yeah, it was an interesting flash. I think he thought it was around the corner. A little bit of a mechanical hiccup. On the other side, though, the sky flashes are pretty on point.
This is more of what we expected to see in these sort of rounds. Utter dominance from ACEND. Beautiful start to their attacking side. And the thing I'm actually most excited for, and I think there's not many players you'll say this for in general, but it only really applies to CNED, is the attacking operator from CNED. Because I think on this map and on Icebox, it really is a game changer, which is... It's unorthodox. Like, there aren't too many very strong attacking operator players because you have to play in such a way that you're basically getting up in the face of your opponents and just hitting these ridiculously fast, well, shots. And for him, that's going to be a game changer. Now, it hasn't even come into play yet, and he's already looking pretty good. And for the defense, we're finally seeing them come in with an actual purchase. Now, they do have the Blade Storm available to Defo. Seekers for Starzo as well, which on this map in particular, when you have all of these Viper walls, the screens, the utility available on the B site, Seekers is such a strong wall.
It's going to be used up right away, revealing just the one player towards the B site. There is going to be heavy pressure on Nats as he gets pushed down. CNED to his right, Starzo to the left. And well, that's going to be the B side overrun. 4 versus 3. Gambit trying to find an angle to get back in on. Defo not able to detect the trap wire in time, so he's out of here. And Viper's pit erected means it's going to be pretty tough to get in. Maybe they can get a tag with that recon. Hasn't quite connected. They spam the other side. Nothing found. I mean, I don't want to throw the word save around just yet, and especially not with Defo pushing forward, but it is an uphill battle. And as the numbers thin out over on the Gambit side, that's the Viper's pit dropped. Hold on. They're still in this for now. Time relatively low for now. Redgar, good to take Starzo. It's just one more player left to deal with. Looking for the wallbang headshots, baiting him into the open. It's getting damn close, but Zeke will finish it out. 3-1 for ACEND.
Yeah, really solid round for them eventually. It was looking a little bit dangerous, especially over the last few seconds, but the time bought, the ultimates used, and I think for Nats in particular, it is really difficult to play this B site, because even though he's got all of his utility up close, there aren't many positions within this site that you can actually stand, and you could see that ACEND knew exactly where he was going to be, even before they threw out the Seeker. Like, they had the Snakebite put into the corner to push him to the right-hand side. They had players wrapping around the left, and then the Seeker came in and just made it impossible. So if they can just continue to isolate him, this becomes a very different map, because we have to see adaptations. And in fact, we're going to see more thrown in already, as they're going to try and push a little bit more aggressively onto the B site, and now just try and stack up on A, but I don't know if they're going to get there in time, Mitch.
Yeah, the rotates are on the way. But there's no one left to support on the site. Gambit have lost everyone in clean duels. And what a turnaround this has been for ACEND in just the first couple of rounds. They are looking a lot better than they have over any of their attacking sides so far.
Yeah, for sure. I think that this time, I think Gambit might be a little bit more worried about the fact that they've actually lost versus that force buy. Now, this is a map where even Gambit themselves have shown some prowess on the attacking side, but I will say that a lot of those were, well, I don't want to be harsh, but versus lesser opposition. Like, these were teams that realistically they should have been beating. Okay, sure, they had a really dominant attack side versus No Pressure, which for anybody who doesn't know, later became Na'Vi, who have, I think, proven themselves to at least be a decent team within EMEA. Like, they have proven that they can battle, so to dominate them on the attacking side is good, but then other than that, you've got some wins versus teams like Bongos and stuff like that. So it's like, yes, realistically, yeah, you know, favorite team, Bongos. They can always take a hit. But anyway, they haven't faced anyone versus as good, well, anywhere near as good. It's that Hidden Bear. I didn't even know that was there.
I've never seen that before, yeah.
Nowhere to run!
Nowhere to run. Well, let's see if that... What was that? Was he... It looked like he was mid-dash when he did that. Obviously, he wasn't, but the timing... He's so quick on the trigger. Well, Gambit have lost this round. Coming into the next one... We got 2 players left, a mere matter of seconds into the round. I mean, I don't know. It was a blitzkrieg.
For me, that looked like he shot 4 bullets at once. There was just so many operator shots. I thought, like, my eyes were deceiving me. I was like, does he know a trick with the operator that no one has worked out yet? Because that looked insane. But yeah, this is what I mean. Like, the entries from CNED on this map, it's so hard to play against, and Defo has just been obliterated. This was the first proper buy that we've actually seen from Gambit as well. This wasn't like an eco. They also had 3 ultimates online. None of them are going to be used. They have just been blasted out of the server, and as of right now, ACEND are looking like they're back.
Quite varied approaches from ACEND as well. It's not a simple push through cave. This time they split middle, pop down their Viper wall much deeper than normal, allowing them to go through the double doors and support the cave push. Obviously, CNED hitting that shot. And here we go, the replay of it. Let's have a look. He's
look,
so quick.
Bullets.
He hit both buttons at the same time. Is he doing a little is he doing a little Lothar on that? He's got a double bind, like shooting at the same time.
The second he clicks shoot, he dashes.
Dashes immediately. It's ridiculous. I wonder if that wouldn't work. Surely your accuracy would just go, I'd imagine. And maybe
Also,
check it out, Lothar. I want to see this.
Surely you'd have to already be moving in the direction you want to be going, otherwise you'd just go straight forward.
You would dash forward, yeah. Well, I mean, he did dash
I guess
forward.
that's kind of what he did, yeah.
Yeah. To be clear,
no, he didn't
highly doubt he did that. But highly doubt it. This is not a new meta. I'm not trying to reinvent things. It was just a joke. But he was incredibly fast. And also would have been hilarious if he missed the shot, because he would have just dashed straight at him and died. But at 5-1, money is stacked up. ACEND have got plenty of credits. And Gambit don't. They're buying all the way down. We're seeing a Guardian, a Bulldog up here. You got a couple of ultis. Now, I'm looking particularly at Viper with Viper's Pit ready to be deployed. Is this going to be used in cave early on? 3 players up close? Maybe not. Looks like a different approach. They're going to pop up the orb and start to push down. An aggressive cave take. The flash doesn't reveal anything out of Sky, but now they know the cave is in the hands of the defenders. But they're shifting very quickly, turning their focus towards the B site where only one man holds on. Only one is maybe not the best call when it's Nats. Lone defender that we've seen frag out many times before.
Cage triggered. Tripwire destroyed.
He's at the wall. Cages go up.
The site, though. It's
yeah.
weird. Oh no.
Well, the play there was that he wants the trap wire to reveal someone, but they destroyed it. Now Starzo has that little flank. Redgar's already down. They know that the Cypher is somewhere near the site. Starzo's cut off the rotate. This is textbook. This is so good from ACEND. They're doing everything right. And that's the last player alive with a double, but still 3 more to go. And it's CNED will take him down with a classic in hand. ACEND are making this look so easy. This is genuinely a masterclass in how to play the attacking side. And you see the adaptation, the thinking on their feet there, Tom, because at the beginning of the round, their intention, at least what they were showing to Gambit, was that they were going to take A control. They put down their Viper wall. They started to pressure there with the flash in. They immediately see the Viper's orb go down, and they realize, we don't want to fight this. Let's move back. They go for B site. They leave a lurk behind. I love everything about what I'm seeing.
They also took a lot of map control into mid as well. Like, they still have players ready to lurk through A if they found something else on the other side. Yep. So they are just playing every single scenario open to them. And, well, now CNED, we're going to try and get them another opening pick. Again, they're leaning in towards that B side. The defense there hasn't been much. Nats is going to find a kill, but, well, Redgar has just been ruined in the meantime. And now, again, middle control is going to be pretty much taken full control of by CNED. And this has been one of the issues so far, is that there hasn't been much of a response. They've had this for free.
You know, with the weapons that Gambit have, I think it's acceptable to give up that mid control, but here's the problem: when they start to split on in, you might be able to get one from behind. Well, no, you won't. Not when CNED's doing that. Chronicle and Shados left alone, and this is looking like a very different team to what we saw in the previous. But as you said, Tom, you know, Breeze had an element of unpredictability to it, an element of coin flipping. But with Gambit's attack sides on most maps being quite weak, we have to hope there's something in store for us when things swap over. And for that to even be possible, they need to find a solution to what ACEND are putting out. So far, that has been far from the case, with ACEND claiming control of sites within the first 30 seconds of the round. Anything that Gambit tried, the reaction is there immediately for ACEND to shift focus to a different site, and they leave as many doors open. As you said, Tom, in that round where we saw them move to B, the first kind of spanner in the works that Gambit threw in, they still had the option to split through A if they found a kill.
They're just removing everybody as well. They're just running around the map, just obliterating any player that walks into their path. And yeah, this is just utterly dominant. Like every single... Yeah, he used up a lot of his power in the last map, it seems. I also think just in terms of how a lot of the positioning works in a lot of the cases, like I feel like a lot of their players that normally succeed in these sort of close, awkward positions are unable to do that. Wide open spaces, I feel like ACEND just seem to thrive. Like they're very good at their icebox attack as well. And once again, it's gonna be the same battle.
Oh man!
Oh my god! Okay, Red Guy, stop peeking there. Just no more looks that way. Yeah.
The problem is, it's been such a point of contention as well, though. We've seen the lurks up through. We see CNED peek it for their early control, and then indeed, as we're seeing right now, Killers is going to be pushing up in the late round. This is a massive problem for Gambit. If they're not able to maintain control over Hull, they're going to constantly be split on this site. And at the moment, even when they're not being split, they cannot maintain control on just basic one-way pushes through Cave. In this round, in fact, they used a Viper's Pit right at the start. They try to maintain control of Cave, and it is pushed out again and again. A problem with playing against Sova is always going to be that they can just put that drone down. They can put a recon in and really push you out of your pit, seize control of it, and then fight you from there. And if you're tagged, you are dead. That drone tags you up.
Well, yeah, it almost seems like, for now at least, Gambit have just fallen into trying to go for pick play. Like
they got double ops.
And then yeah, exactly. They've gone for double operators just so that hopefully Nats could find something. And, well, let's be real. For Nats' normal setups, an operator does not make any sense at all. Like, the concept of it is for him to try and find players while lurking around his cages. In this case, he's just gone to try and fight for it.
I think that was Redgar's op at the start, who tried to peek down holes at a solution to the constant control that ACEND have had with CNED peeking there. And it didn't work out, and we saw Nats rotate to the A site to try and reinforce it, and yet everyone was dead by the time he got anywhere nearby. So he picks the op, he runs back to B to try and save it alongside his buddy Defo, which doesn't happen either. It really is, and I want to give a lot of credit to ACEND, because it is not fair to say that, oh, they're death matching here. Like, that is not true. Not even close to the truth. These guys have put in a lot of work, and you can see it in the way that they're playing this, in the way that their rounds are changing. In fact, even look at this one. But focus has been the A side so far, but now they shifted to middle, and they get dropped by Shados immediately. A Spectre finding reward. Bone Cold atop the wall is in a bit of trouble as he gets revealed. He's able to find one, but falls afterwards. That Vandal will be retrievable. They can jump on up and get it, or indeed let Defo go for a little updraft. Now the jump is just fine. No, Nats did get it. Okay, the UI was a little slow to update. So they've got two Vandals, and they've got a retake. The problem could be Starzo. He knows there's a player inside of mid, and he's going to take him down. Hunter's Fury punished immediately. Flash in. CNED gets the kill. Backs off. Nats tries to open space. He has to deal with the Opera on the back of the site. And it's not going to be an easy task, but Chronicle does it. Just a Sheriff in hand, all that's needed. Starzo, the late mid-lurk. He came back over towards Elbow, and he's able to find one. The spike needs to be defused. And as the orb goes up, the spray is in. Starzo challenging Flash up close. He's going to blind him completely, and it's free as can be. ACEND will not give Gambit an inch in this game. A pistol round victory for Gambit, and 9 in a row. ACEND are just destroying them.
Yeah, this is starting to get a little bit depressing, because even with the massive amount of adaptations we're now seeing from the defense, like a straight up push into mid, a fight all the way forward to try and give themselves something early in the early rounds, which it did, they're still going to lose out the clutches anyway. So it makes little to no difference. 9-1. I'm almost starting to look at this as like wondering if we should just move straight on to the next map. Now, as said, we've seen some incredibly strong attacking sides, but also mention that we're yet to see any real like top tier competitors or any map picks of Breeze when it comes to Gambit within this tournament. Now Bone Cold, again, he's just gone strolling up mid. They have walked straight through. They've gone from battling for it completely to, well, this time just leaving it open.
There's a few things that I'll say here when it comes to this, and the first is that for a team who we have seen I believe, at 12-4 or 12-5 in the lead, coming into pistol rounds. There seems to be no limit to the amount of pauses that Gambit will call in a game, and they are currently 9-1 down. Have they called a single pause? If at all, they've called one. And I genuinely feel like we have hit a point. I'm not sure exactly where it was, but we hit a point a few rounds ago where Gambit said, screw it, let's play the next map. This is a BO5. Ultimately, it will not eliminate them, but they also have 2 attempts to close this out. And with how the previous 2 have gone, they can feel relatively comfortable that this is not the map that they're going to win. Yeah, well, go on, knife. Play the knife fight, Devil. What are you doing, man? And he's being knifed by Bone Cold. I gotta say, he deserves that for not taking the challenge.
Last round before the switch.
In all seriousness, Tom, I genuinely think Gambit are ready to scrap this one. If there was a forfeit option, they would probably take it at this point just to play the next. And a small caveat, a theory craft, and I may be wrong. However, they're giving me the feeling that they have ideas that they do not want to show at this point. Granted, ACEND are a better team, and maybe they've just said, hey, I don't think we're going to win this map, especially at this stage, so screw it. Let's just get it over with. Let's play for the next map. It's a possibility, and with the lack of pauses, that's what's really convincing me that's the case, because if you are not able to hold on to the A side after being pushed, just raw pushed 5 times in a row that we saw earlier, and you don't call a pause to fix it, well, then I'm kind of thinking that you're just running around playing an unrated, you know?
I've got your trail.
It's not getting any better by the looks of things. There's no Cena just styling. He's going to pull out a Blade Storm of his own and just go hunting, try and shut down Nats. And they're even going to try and catch him in the spawn. This is unbelievable. Cena has spotted him as well. They knew he'd be on the rotation. An 11-1 half for Ascend. That is one of the most dominant halves I've ever seen. And that was with Gambit winning the pistol.
Yes. Yes. The exception, Shadows has 1 kill. This is the man that matched up to Cena when it was on Ascent. On Bind, he led the charge and was probably, if not solely responsible, he was definitely responsible for the majority of that 13-4.
I know exactly.
And he has 1 kill this half. And I believe that was on a mid-push with a Spectre, where he just about managed to blindside them. It was the one round that they came kind of close to winning.
Yeah.
Overall, this is not the Gambit that we've seen on the last 2 maps. And as much as I want to credit Ascend, and I really do, I think that their attack side has been beautiful to watch. They have outclassed Gambit every step of the way. I don't think this is Gambit coming in at 100%, not on this map.
No, it looks rough, that's for sure. Maybe one that they haven't had enough time to work on yet. Maybe one that's just not within their wheelhouse at all. But with Haven coming up in a bit, I am starting to feel a little bit worried for them. Defo, though, has been able to find them an opener at least. He's been tagged low, but they've cleared out the site. Nat's also waiting on the rotation. Maybe they're going to win both pistols, Mitch.
Yikes. 1 enemy remaining. Flawless.
And end up with 2 rounds, perhaps. We'll see. We'll see. Their pistol rounds have been good. We'll say that about their breeze. Give them at least 1 compliment. I know. A completely different identity.
2 for 2 in pistol rounds, you know. if they now lose this round, I don't know what I'm going to be able to say, because they've even gone in, like, they bought up a rifle onto Chronicle, realizing that at this stage, I feel like it gets to the point where there's no real time for bonus rounds. You can't go for those risky investments into, say, SMGs or whatever. They need someone to be able to just make sure they confirm this round and give them at least a chance. Defo going to be going for similar peaks that we saw out from CNED. Killers is actually going to get tagged up, but we know what they can do with the Marshals themselves.
I think no matter what, Ascend would win this map with how they're playing. They're absolutely beautiful attack. Their defense,
Bold
I presume, is going to be solid. But yeah, I know. But I genuinely, I say that purely because I don't want to seem like I'm discrediting Ascend. I'm not attempting to do that. But I want to really put the caveat out there that this is sort of like what we were seeing in the North American finals when they were just completely trolling around. We had like knives being thrown out and everything. And people, I mean, we saw that here. But we had like straight up knife rounds almost in the middle of the game. Not quite that bad. I think the players are still attempting to move around, but they're definitely not diving deep into their strat book. And indeed, again, I want to just pull it back to the point that we have seen Gambit, when they're dominantly in the lead, still delve deep into pauses and let their opponents stew, work on their strats. And yet here we have, I believe we haven't seen one. Maybe we did see just the one very early on. It has been a blitz of a map and almost a
Here.
speed run from ACEND. I believe the next map is going to be a very different face from Gambit, but
Player standing.
for now, it's just about closing it out, and ACEND don't look like they'll be getting this round. So Gambit will move off the 2-point mark, and they'll finally win their first round that isn't a pistol.
Yeah,
Get a round of applause.
That's something at least. You have to start a comeback somewhere. And as I said, like if you look back to when they played against No Pressure, they managed to get 10 rounds. So if they can do one better, maybe we're heading to an overtime. Maybe we've been fooled all along. But we're yet to see CNED's operator on the defensive side. We're yet to see a proper investment at all from ACEND. And this is where they'll get the rifles out. Now, there's still going to be a piece or two missing, some lower shields, but you have to bear in mind that this bonus round isn't even that much of a bonus for Gambit. They're going to come in with the majority rifles, the singular SMG, and by the looks of it, going to try and pressure the tube again.
The tube play for ACEND worked out very well.
Camera taken.
Gambit just could not keep control of it, but now on their attack side, oh, they're going all the way down. They're really rushing into this. Killaz has them almost lined up. The first is his. A good return by Shados. Putting himself up on 2 kills. That's double the previous half already. Beautiful. I love this door play. Open, close, open, close. Bunko's going to leave it this time, though. Going to beckon Shados in. In fact, he's going to try a little bit of a late play. They close the door themselves. Shados wanting to solely focus on this. He has a good read on Bone Cold's play. Bone Cold still manages to catch it. Spots one crossing over to the left side of Madonna. Knows there's another here, and that's going to be the planter. Good little Viper snake bite in. It does connect. Okay. He's taking double damage for now. Redgar heals up eventually, but he's taken down. That's alone. 1 versus 2. They've spotted him. That flash only reveals the left side of cave or where he is. As he comes around that cage, it's about to fade. He's in the open. No bullets left. Starzo leaves him on 8 health after the decay. Goes back to 39 still. 1 shot to the body from that Vandal. Bone Cold stepping around, not quite sure where he is. He's lost track. Nats knows now exactly where he is, and the headshot's connected. Another round for Gambit, and a big clutch out of Nats.
Well, at least he's still got that in his locker. That's something at least. This man was a little bit quieter on the last map. Maybe not necessarily needed so much, but realistically, that was a big clutch to at least give them something back into this one. Especially with the way that this round actually started. It was almost looking over from the get-go with how they managed to open up. But the bring back again from the players like Bone Cold almost managed to make it possible. We're not going to see much into this one, though. Ultimate's a miss when it comes to ACEND, and they're only going to have themselves some pistols.
Here.
So, Tom, based on what we've seen so far, ACEND should win this round. There was an aggressive push. Look at the position from Nats. I mean this. I've never seen anyone there, ever, in my life. Not even people who are AFK in ranked would be in that position. He manages to get 2, but the rifle is lost, and Killaz will be going to retrieve it. 38 HP.
It's just going to float into the ocean.
It just takes it away.
Just see him sailing away. Like, nah, come on.
I don't think you can do that to Nats. I'm going to be honest, man. I think he's been playing pretty decently. Give him a little bit of respect.
He went to do his shoelaces up and then realized that they weren't actually undone. So he stood back up and then looked down again. He was like, oh, actually, no, I just need to tuck them in a little bit. That's what he was doing.
See, it's also the fact that, he knew he had to walk a long way. He's going over towards elbow now. Like, that's a long walk. And you really want to limber up, You want to really get your legs going. Make sure that those muscles aren't going to get knotted. Nothing worse. So he's nice and limber to save this weapon. But I think he's about to be shot in the back of the head. I'm surprised Defo didn't knife him after what happened to him earlier on. That would have been a nice little bit of revenge. I even saw ACEND tweet it out, get knifed. They're feeling it.
I feel like it's one of those things, though, where, like, Gambit will wait until it's, like, the moment. Like, at 11-5, it's like, you're not even really going to care if you're on ACEND because you're so far in the lead. You've BM'd them the whole of the first half. If it gets close and they do that, then it will sting. Then it will linger in the back of your mind. Like, I knifed them, now they've got me back. The thing is, though, this is still an absolute mountain to climb. I don't think I've ever seen a board that red before, which, considering how green it's been for the majority of the rest of this game, this is a surprising turnaround when it comes to Breeze.
Well, you know what? I tweeted out the timeline at 11-3 and said, what the hell am I witnessing? And we've just had Gambit respond, beginning of a comeback. Okay, I see you. I see you. Not down and out just yet. And it's the attack side where, I mean, on most maps...
painful.
Yeah, that does. I don't know about that one. Gonna leave a mark.
Maybe ACEND have decided, you know what, this is going to be the first buy round where we have the operator. Our opponents still have an ultimate or two, and some that are not far away, although the same can be said for ACEND, Bladestorm close, Viper's Pit close. You've even got the Seekers as well on both sides, one away. Making sure that they don't let this one out of control. I feel like once you get to like 7 rounds, then it starts to call into question whether we're about to see one of the most dominant attacking side maps ever. However, that flash is beautiful, but he doesn't get a kill.
And in fact, Zeke ends up taking a little bit of a tag out of the, or Starzo, sorry, from the Hunter's Fury. LS, oh, he's on them, running and shooting with a Phantom, but it's that close, it doesn't even matter. Gambit quickly respond, taking everybody down and leaving just Zeke. The Seeker coming out, spotting him for now, and even absorbing the bullet, allowing Shados to wallbang him back through it. It is 11-6 in Gambit. And it looks like they found themselves a little bit here on the attack side. Long road, though. And we saw the exact same comeback from ACEND in the first map, though.
Could you imagine, though? Like, could you actually imagine if the way that they were to win this game is to be 11-1 down and lose 11 rounds in a row, and then just go ahead and win the second half? Like, that would be the most impressive victory I've ever seen, and I just watched a man pull off the best ace I've ever seen.
You know what? That would it would also be hilarious then to see. I just want that tough task for Ryan and Kaquka to break that one down.
So, the attack
not gonna be easy. So ACEND had a good attack, Gambit had a better attack, and that's it. That's how they won.
I'm gonna need to pull out the buff Doge again for both teams.
And no one's even got the birthday buff today. Oh, look at this. Well, of course. I mean, that goes without saying. I thought it was very selfish yesterday of Ryan to really steal Jonas's limelight on his birthday. It was... I can't believe he'd do that. Couldn't give it up just for one day.
There is no one on B right now. Now, they've got the cam
on the way
available to them. So Killer's, well, he should have the information now. And actually, they've got the rotation almost spot on. Zened also with his Bladestorm in play and a push coming in from behind. This may only be pistols, but Gambit have to be careful here.
One knife, only one left for Zened, and he connects it. Of course he does. The spike is now down. And the flank play is going to be caught. Oh, in fact, Nats is able to punish the cage, keeping him alive as he now sees Starzo up behind him. Another cage comes into play, biding his time. Starzo catches. 1 versus 2. A good start for ACEND, but it has become that little bit shakier. Seekers on their way. He's going to follow them. Starzo drawing on his CNED powers in the cam. Let's see if he's got the aim to match. Not able to find the first. A lot more to do, as most certainly not Starzo we're seeing. He's got that CNED laser focus. The timing's so poor. Shados comes out perfectly peeking and taking it 11-7. I am starting to lose words here, Tom. At the Gambit found 1 round in the first half. How a team that themselves said, oh, well, yeah, well, our attack sides tend to let us down a lot, and we've seen it the entire tournament long. They have sucked on the attack. They've been like winning 8-4, 9-3 halves and hitting OTs again and again. But here they are, 4 away from ACEND. Not off the starting mark yet on the defensive side. Is this the most attacker-sided map we've ever seen?
It would be pretty wild. We've also got Defo now onto the operator as well. It's that op v op battle. We're going to see the Viper's Pit look to try and lock down B, although we've not seen a massive amount of success from that ultimate thus far. On the other side, well, Chronicle could even just opt to counter it if he really wanted to. We've seen a lot of back and forth ults put into play. But for now, at least, we're going to see them pressure into mid.
taking over the control here. You've got a Viper's Pit, so there's no choice if you're going B except, well, I suppose you could theoretically try to push him out with the Sova utility. We saw ACEND do that over on the A side earlier, but the majority of the time teams will opt to make this split. CNET is kind of being pushed back a little bit. The Viper util, the flashes, they're keeping him at bay, but he wants to watch for them coming on through, and of course, he hits the first shot. He stays here, aggressive, but turns at the wrong moment. A complete shutdown by Shados and a good trade. The spike to be retrieved. We can see Redgar moving back to grab it right now, and it might be a full B main push. Want to keep an eye. Oh, yes, indeed, it looks like it will be. A deep flash confirms that he's actually close inside of that pit.
30 seconds left.
They're going to commit to this site.
Cage triggered.
Is there a drone still online? No, they don't have one. They're going to have to just raw peek. On cold. Oh, he's managed to sneak right up behind them. A slippery snake indeed. Redgar's in trouble planting. He thinks it's safe. Little does he know. Bone Cold's right back inside the pit again. 10 seconds. They need to plant. They've spotted him, but Shados just cannot deal with him. And on 1 HP, it's easy for Killaz. ACEND have finally found a round on the defensive side to put 12 on the board, and Gambit now need 5 in a row. But Tom, they've managed to do just that before. So maybe the streak can continue.
Yeah, this is a point where I think it gets a little bit tougher, though. The second that first round comes up, momentum is broken, and well, even then, the finances are not amazing, considering how many they actually won in a row. You're going to have Redgar go on to a Spectre, which is mind-blowing, considering they won 6 rounds back-to-back. You've then also got the fact that, okay, there is actually... Wait, is the operator not in play anymore? It doesn't seem like it got retrieved. So CNET actually doesn't have the op, which, hey, that's a huge bonus. He was able to shut down some of the plays that were being made into mid in that round. And we're going to see some early information taken. Also, the Hunter's Fury pop. Chronicle's dead. He's not going to be able to avoid that one. Even sends a little bit more through with Starzo's flash. It's a double opener for ACEND, and they're ever closer to closing this one.
Well, Nats doesn't want to end it just here. Redgar's even managed to get a sneaky flank on CNET. And we're tied up yet again. Gambit on this attack side have plenty of space to move this spike, and it looks like the B side is where they're going to shift their focus towards. Zeke on the rotate in is the only man to hold this. He's playing behind the wall as the backside gets cleared. They'll start to push out. Zeke could... No, he doesn't get the jump on them at all, and Nats actually immediately shuts him down, and they'll now get site control. Cage is used just to cross over, and Redgar's on this late lurk, but he's caught. Doesn't seem to matter. Starzo dropped, weapon upgraded, and Killaz has it all to do. This was looking like ACEND had it in the bag. But Gambit have once again managed to muster this out of nowhere. But look at the HP here, Tom. Nats and Redgar are very low. If Killaz can just land that one bullet onto each, we could be seeing the clutch happen, and it's a headshot, in fact, to start. Now he has the information.
This puts him in a position where it's definitely winnable. The problem is the crossfire should make it nigh on impossible. He'd have to clear the close player to have a single chance, and the peak will give him that option. Low on HP, and the time is the problem now. Needs to bait in Nats almost instantly, and baiting him into an angle is going to be incredibly difficult. Gambit will cling to life. A 3 versus 5 to keep them in the map.
This is absolutely unreasonable. I cannot explain how we are at 12-8. Gambit looking uncharacteristically weak on the defensive side of all things, where they've in this entire tournament looked incredible. Of course, a different map and a newer one at that. I was ready to sell that narrative. Indeed, I was selling it, that they were already counting themselves out. Shockingly, looking at that timeline, you're seeing 2 defensive rounds won. Everything else has been on the attack, and if that continues, we will be seeing another OT. It was promised by Gambit earlier that Recon reveals so much. ACEND have all the info to play with, and they're pushing down middle, seizing control here with the pistols. If Nats doesn't peek quickly... Oh, I like it. He is so nasty, man. Watching the flank with the cam like that... Easy first kill. He can just wait with cam for second. He goes out and takes another headshot. Okay. All right. Nats, can we just calm it down? He's infuriated. Killaz gave him a little teabag earlier, and he's like, all right, yeah, cool. Think you're a big man, do you? And even a judge can't save the day for ACEND this time.
Yeah, no, cleaning it up without too much trouble at all. And I think his positioning is always going to be something that's super valuable to them. You have to think as well that a clutch or two that he's managed to win has basically kept them in the map. Currently, considering how low or far down they were, he's now the top fragger of the server, which just really doesn't make any sense to me at all.
Again, I absolutely do not envy the analyst desk for this one. Luckily, if Gambit win, it will be the end, and they'll have the 3 hours to break it down that they need.
This is already early ult pop, trying to clear CNEB from the back of sight, but he's going to updraft past. And actually, Bone Cold's continue to push, but with the space they've managed to take, they can now walk into the A site, which is actually completely clear. A full retake being played, but Bone Cold has some strong positioning. A chance for him to maybe catch them off guard, although they've already started to watch it. Is he going to expect the close angle? He half checks it. Shadow's even going to peek into the angle, feeling his confidence is back in play. Redgar, is he going to be expected? He is. Zeke catches the jewel, and we go back and forth as there's still an opportunity here for the defender. Starzo has found another, but the pit has been popped.
Chronicle last alive on this side. He has his pit to play around. The first kill goes to him. The flash not going to connect, but Zeke takes him down. And at long last, ACEND have managed to close this out. 11-1 in the first half. And we finish 13-9. That is one of the most unique maps of VALORANT that I think I've ever seen. An absolute pleasure to watch, certainly in that second half for the comeback. But in the end, ACEND take a map, and we will be going to map 4 at least. I have to commend Gambit for that comeback, though. After such a dominant first half, I was counting them out of even making it to 5, let alone almost hitting double digits.
Yeah, no, that was a really weird one. Like, they were knifing players in the first half. It was really, really peculiar, but you know what, Mitch? There's still a couple more maps to go. Hopefully the next one will be closer in a slightly different way.
Yes, let's hope so. We're on to Haven, a map that seems to give us an endless amount of overtimes, and I would be okay with it if we get it this time around. For now, we're going to go to a break. The analyst desk will be back, and good luck breaking that one down, guys. We'll catch you in just a little bit.